Hello, hello! We have something a bit different today. I didn't know if I wanted to record this brand yet, I wasn't sure, but after having opened up a bit of it, pretty much all of it except one palette, I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. So this is a package I received from CXC Beauty. They're based in Florida. It's an indie brand, very small. First of all, I think I was just having a moment today because I could not figure out how to open this box. I kept looking all around and I was like, how do I open this? Finally gave it to my husband, who was like, and that is how you open it. Okay, good to know. So it comes in a box like this. But that's not what I'm sharing with you guys today. So this is what I received today. The first thing I opened was this Pro Face Sculpt Blush. It comes in this. It was actually originally packaged in a kind of just plastic, which I ripped off, threw that away. So if we open it inside, I could only imagine, I don't think I've ever really heard of it before, but yellow blush. We are looking at yellow blush here. Look at that. Which I believe I saw in a Scott Barnes video on how to use this. You would apply this first to your cheeks and then apply your color on top. And that kind of gives you an orange blush, so you can really make lots of shades of blush with this. I'm really excited to see how it performs and how it works because I've never used anything like this. This is very interesting. The packaging itself, this is a indie brand again, so it feels, you know, not the highest quality, but I'm not really, you know, it does what it needs to do. It opens, it closes, it's really easy. You can see the color through the thing like that. I don't really care if the component itself is kind of quote-unquote cheap, because what I care about is the product. So excited to see how that works out. This one actually has a little box that comes with it. That was the first item. The second item, this is a new item. This came in here. This is a see-through container. There's nothing on it. Just pulled it out. Probably will throw this away. It doesn't really have a lot of value. Because again, I think they're putting a lot more money into their actual product versus, you know, the packaging. But this component itself, this is a lot heavier. This feels like there was a little bit more money in this. I don't know. I really like how bright it is. I'm into like the tie-dye design stuff. Very cool. Nova Chromes, it's called. This is the first palette I've ever owned that is just all chromes, because usually these are so expensive, so incredibly expensive. Like, I can't ever get my hands on something like this because I usually can't afford it. I've seen some chrome palettes go up to like $125, like $180 for chrome shades, you know, like the shifting shades. So let's open this up. You got your sheet in here. Oop. This is what we got right here. I wonder if you can see the shift on the camera, who knows, but this is what we're dealing with right now. Very pretty, very excited. Oh wow, it looks a lot different on camera. In person, I can't even tell you because it's shifting, so I can't even look, depending on what angle I'm looking at it. I can't even tell you. Oh man, ooh. I'm not for sure. This one might be a trio because I can't even, I'm looking at it and it's purple, which it's so, I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. There's colors in here where it changes color when I show it to you. This for sure I can tell you is it looks like a pink. This is like a light purple. Right. These two you can see are blue. These two have like a green hue to it. That one has also a purple hue to it. This one on top, I cannot describe to you what color this is. It is so bizarre. It's blue, but it's purple, but it's green. Whoa. But very cool. My first palette. Very excited. This is great. Love that. So we got these two so far. This is the moment where I decided I needed to show you guys. So everything is pretty much well packed. It's all so much bubble wrap. Lots of bubble wrap. That's great. This palette came like this palette. But obviously it came in this as well. Which again, very simple packaging. You can see the palette through the box. Just the ingredients on the back of the box. It does make it easier to throw away, but one thing I immediately noticed, which I don't know if you could pick up on the camera, is that there's immediately eyeshadow inside the palette. And I thought, oh no, I think it arrived broken. So I take it out. which at this point I've kind of dusted it off. This is the Radiowaves palette. You guys are gonna lose your freaking mind. So again, there's like eyeshadow product all over this, and I tried to clean it up as best as I could. So I cleaned it all, especially since it's black. You can see it on the black. So kind of, you know, brushed it off, cleaned it. It was covered in yellow eyeshadow. I love yellow eyeshadow. I freaking love yellow eyeshadow. I saw this in a video showing a bunch of indie brands, you know, new launches and all that. This was in that video. I'll link that down below. And I was like, I have to have it. It's an investment, you guys. It's an investment. So let's open it up, right? There is a mirror in here. We got our sheet. And it's a bit dirty. I was a bit scared that, you know, my shades would come broken, but it almost looks like mold. But it's not, I know it's not mold. It's not mold. It just, I'm assuming because it got thrown around so much, because I've never received a palette that had so much fallout on the actual palette as soon as I received it. But I mean, I'm really excited to use it because this is the biggest yellow palette I've ever seen. I wanted to clean some of this off. So I mean, I know it's not, it just doesn't look that good because of it needs some cleaning up. But I'm excited to use it. I mean, as long as it was not broken, that's what I was scared of when I saw so much yellow product, you know, on the, I mean, it's on the mirror. It's kind of on everything. But you know, this, again, I assume this is actually put together by people, by hand. There is no robot putting this stuff together. Because this is just, I've never heard of this indie brand. I don't think it's much talked about. But I mean, there you go. Like, I cleaned it up. It's fine. It's not an issue. Look how pretty this is. I'm really excited to use this. As I've said before, like, I have used Jeffree Star's Banana Fetish, and it was just not the palette for me. The colors just did not work on my skin tones. So, you know, I'm excited to see how these work. Here we go again. Just a little close-up in case you were interested. I'll definitely let you know. We're definitely going to get a review on this. There's no way I can review this. You know how few entire monochromatic yellow palettes exist? I have to do a review on this one. This component, speaking of the components, nice hefty component. This definitely feels like this is worth a lot more money. Like, it's nice and sturdy. It's not really good, really nice. Look how shiny it is. Pretty. It's called Radiowaves. Okay, now I'm gonna open one live right here in front of you guys, which is what I probably should have done for all the other ones, but I was like, I'm sure when I get these palettes they'll be alright, right? Let's see how this one is. This is the Olympus one, which I love that it's yellow paper, because yellow is my favorite color. I was like, did they know? How did they know? Put that to the side. It does come in more bubble wrap. Ooh, I'm upside down. This is the Vault of Olympus. I feel like looking at it, when I saw it on the website, this kind of seemed like an underrated palette. I think people... Oh, this one has a new sticker on it. So it looks like under it, it had this same, you know, this same materials, but this one's a sticker that's been placed on top. So interesting. I wonder if the formula changed sometime. Pull this open. It's kind of similar thing I'm looking at. So you can see it's a little bit of eyeshadow on the outside of the palette. But again, that's not too much of an issue. We're just gonna brush that away and just hope that nothing in here is broken. There's some eyeshadow on the outside. This one's white, the other one's black. Ooh, I really like this design. It's really pretty. I think something like this, I don't think I've ever seen a palette that has something like this. I like the idea. This is the color story. The color story is on the back along with all the shade names, which I think is very helpful, makes it really easy. Now we're going to open it. Woo! Slip right out. Okay. Similar thing. We're looking at a bit dirty inside the palette. Not awful, but I don't care as long as my shades are okay. As long as the shades are okay, then we can just clean it up. But look how stunning. Wow. This definitely feels like an underrated palette. Look at, okay, so this is definitely, that's gotta be a duochrome. That's gotta be a duochrome, right? That one's crazy. This looks beautiful. These two look freaking beautiful. This looks like intensely pigmented. I'm really excited to use these two because they got yellows in here. We got a nice little square of neutrals. And then you got your beautiful pops of color. How pretty. This is going to be so much trouble trying to keep this clean in a white palette, but I'm really glad I got this one. Look how pretty it is. Can't wait to see how this one performs. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to take this one on a trip. Look at that. I did not expect these palettes to be so small, to be honest. When I saw these palettes online, I thought, you know, I was going to get a big palette. You know, these are both the same size. They're a lot more compact than I thought they were going to be. You know what I mean? Like, this is a usual... Look at that. This is a lot, you know, more... They're a lot more smaller than I thought. Let me go grab something and see if I can compare it to something. So I grabbed a ColourPop palette. I feel like this is a palette most people in the beauty community have or do have, and I think it's a much better, you know, comparison. So as you can see, the chromes are, you know, a bit smaller than this palette. If we open up the shades, I mean, these are circular, but I mean, these shades are bigger actually. I think you're getting way more product in this one. That's about the, you know, the size comparison of how big. This is how big the blush is, or at least in the container. Okay, now let's... You're talking about maybe, right, we're looking at... So this one's taller, if you can see. It's a bit taller, but if you move it, it's like 2 ColourPop palettes across. And then a little bit at the end, but it's basically 2 ColourPop palettes across. We're talking about like thickness. I mean, it's almost the same, minus a little slight, right? Like, it's almost as thick as a ColourPop palette. So these are way more travel friendly than I was expecting them to be. Because look at that, like, you can totally put this in your makeup bag. If you have a larger makeup bag, this could definitely go in it. I'm so happy I got my palettes today after waiting for so long. These were definitely more on the expensive side for me, but I'm excited to see what I'll be able to do with these and report back to you guys and let you guys know what's the tea. Because I'm not seeing a lot of reviews on these palettes. I'm not seeing a lot of people talking about them. If people are talking about them, it seems like it's people who have codes. So let's see where this goes. I'm really excited to start digging into CXC Beauty.